February was the first full month I committed to showing up online again, posting content, launching a podcast, sending emails consistently, and I decided that this year I'm going to document the process publicly. Followers, podcast downloads, email growth, and eventually digital product revenue. Some things moved a little faster than I expected, and some things didn't move at all. So let's take a look at what actually happened in February. Hi everyone, my name is Jessie Cara. I am an award-winning wedding planner and designer, and I've been in the wedding industry for over 20 years. This year, I decided to start documenting the process of building the digital side of my business publicly. Every month, I'm sharing the real numbers: followers, content posted, email growth, podcast downloads, and eventually revenue from digital products. This video is my February report. Even though I'm filming a few days into March because I was traveling for work on March 1st, one of my goals for quarter one was simply to get consistent on social media again for brand presence. If I'm being completely honest, that's something I haven't given as much precedence as I should have. I did make some progress, but I'm not where I want to be yet. And I want to take ownership of that. A big realization I've had recently is that during most of 2025, I spent a lot of my time working in my business instead of on my business. And if you're an entrepreneur, especially in a service-based business, you probably know exactly what that feels like. Client work, emails, logistics, putting out fires, making sure everything runs smoothly, all of the things that keep the business moving day to day. But the things that actually grow the business: content, marketing, systems, building products, nurturing your audience. Those are the things that require you to step back and work on the business itself. For a long time, I told myself that once things slowed down, I would make the shift. And now that we're in 2026, I've been really determined to do exactly that. But I've also realized that determination alone isn't enough, because I've brought on support to help me reach these goals. I have people on my team helping with different parts of the business, but if I don't show up and I don't do my part, they can't do their jobs. That's something I've been reflecting on a lot. So while February wasn't perfect in terms of consistency, it was still a step forward compared to where I was at the beginning of the year. And the important thing right now is that I'm aware of it and continuing to move forward. So let's go through the numbers. On Instagram, I started February with 20,086 followers. During the month of February, I posted 4 reels. That's not a huge amount of content, but honestly, I know I should have posted more. But the goal right now is rebuilding the habit of showing up consistently. By March 1st, my Instagram following was at 20,117. That's a gain of 31 followers during the month. Not explosive growth by any means, but considering how little content I posted, I'm okay with that. And then going forward, I'll try to keep track of how many stories I post as well. But yeah, the bigger win for me right now is simply getting back into the rhythm of creating and posting again. Next is YouTube. On February 1st, I had 195 subscribers. During February, I posted one video, which was my first report where I shared the starting numbers for the series. By March 1st, the channel had grown to 198 subscribers. So that's 3 new subscribers. Again, small numbers, but this channel has been sitting here dormant. So a win is a win, and the goal right now is consistency over time. For Facebook, both February 1st and March 1st show roughly the same number, which is about 1.3 thousand followers. I haven't been able to find the exact number inside Facebook analytics yet, so I'm going to ask Brogan on my team to help me figure that out, because she always seems to know where these things are hidden. She's my little tech genius in my pocket. And on TikTok, I started February with 616 followers, and I didn't post any content on TikTok during February, which is something I want to change moving forward. But by March 1st, the account has 623 followers. So that's a gain of 7 followers, even without posting anything. Pinterest is another platform that didn't move at all this month. Both February 1st and March 1st showed 13 followers, and I didn't post any content there during February. I actually haven't posted any content there since 2023. However, I have hired someone to help with Pinterest. So right now I'm actually the one who is a little behind on getting things organized for them, but we've created a contact calendar and a plan of action. So hopefully over the next few months, we'll start to see some movement there. Once they get started, I'm giving it 90 days to determine how I want to move forward. So one of the bigger things that happened in February was launching my podcast. The Planner's Perspective is officially live. The podcast launched on February 1st with the trailer, and then the first 3 episodes went live on February 4th. On the day that I released on February 4th, I released 3 short episodes, and since then I've been releasing 1 new episode each week. So as of now, there are 6 episodes live, and I'm very happy to report that I have 4 recorded and research and bullet points done for 6 more episodes. So I'm really, really proud of myself for that. And in total, the podcast has had 254 downloads so far. I'm actually really proud of that number for a brand new podcast, but I know there's a lot more I could do to promote it, because right now my promotion has basically been 1 Instagram story every week when the episode goes live, and then an email to my email list, which is definitely not enough. So that's something I want to improve moving forward. My top episode so far is called The Biggest Mistakes Planners Make on Their First South Asian Wedding, and that episode has 77 downloads. Next is my newsletter. I started February with 577 subscribers on my email list. In February, I committed to sending 2 emails each week, 1 on Sunday and 1 on Wednesday, to support the podcast episodes. By March 1st, my email list was at 557 subscribers, which means I technically lost 20 subscribers. And honestly, that doesn't bother me at all. When you start emailing more consistently, it's very normal for people who aren't really engaged to unsubscribe. That's actually healthy for your list. I've also realized that several of my own business email addresses were subscribed to my newsletter, so I expect I will lose another 6 subscribers once I clean that up. So for me, this is less about the number right now and more about building the habit of communicating consistently. Behind the scenes, I have been doing a lot more work on the foundation of my business. My team and I have been working on creating 4 different lead magnets that will help grow my email list and bring new people into my world. The goal with those is to build a warmer audience for the products and education that I'm creating. I've been spending a lot of time working on my courses. So these are courses I've previously released and we're revamping them because times change. One of them is called Perfectly Planned, which is a course designed to help brides plan their own South Asian wedding and fusion wedding with more clarity and less overwhelm. The other is called The Master Plan, which is designed for wedding planners who want to learn how to plan and design South Asian weddings and build the business in that space. So while the content output might not look massive yet from the outside, there has been quite a bit of work happening behind the scenes to build the foundation for what comes next. Now, let's talk about revenue. There were no digital product sales in February through Thrivepart or Kajabi, so that's a big 0. But to be clear, sales were not the goal for this month. February was really about laying the groundwork, creating content, launching the podcast, sending emails, and rebuilding my presence online. That said, if we get into Q2 and I still haven't seen any sales, I will definitely be disappointed, but that's okay, because the whole purpose of documenting this journey is to show how content, audience growth, and systems eventually translate into revenue. So what am I focusing on moving forward? The biggest thing is consistency, posting more regularly on Instagram, promoting the podcast properly, actually showing up, getting Pinterest fully up and running now that we have a strategy in place. The numbers might be small right now, but the important thing is the engine is starting to run again. And that, to me, is the best thing possible. So if you're building something online too, you probably know that the early stages often feel slow and quiet before momentum really starts to build. And I also wanted to really showcase that because people see my following on Instagram and they automatically assumed that there's a meaning to attach to that. And I'm hoping these videos and these income reports show you otherwise. Work still needs to happen. And I think one of the biggest things is that even when we're in our busy season, we need to be showing up. We need to be marketing. We need to be working on our business. So we'll see what the March report looks like next month. If you're building something yourself and want to follow along with the journey, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Each month, I'll be sharing the real numbers as you see, like you saw that 0, what worked, what didn't, and what I'm changing as I go. So thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next report.